Hello guys, good evening. Can you hear me? Let's give 2 to 3 minutes more people to join, then we'll get started. Okay, so let's get started. Hello everyone, my name is Piyush. I'm working as a solution architect and a senior cloud consultant at Deloitte, based out of Bangalore office. And today I will be presenting this slide on the AWS certification. So personally, I got a lot of messages on the LinkedIn and on Twitter as well. And also as a group, we got a lot of requests from the people who want to get certified. So what we think out of it is, as a community, we came up with this idea to go through the basics of all the certifications, like how you can start with the certifications, how you can prepare with the certification, and how you can get certified. Okay, so before starting, about the cloud computing and its demand in the market, right? So this is one of the survey, and from which what we got is the cloud computing is the number one hard skill companies needed right now. So you can see the importance, right? You can imagine the importance of this particular stream or this particular skill in the market. So that is how we will connect that why we need the certification, because this particular cloud skill, this particular cloud technology, how it is in demand, right? So moving next, we will be talking about my bit of my introductions, like how I get certified, and the basics of the certification I will be covering, and then how you guys can prepare or prepare for the AWS different AWS exams. Then we will be talking about few of the pro tips, and then we will have the last 15 minutes in this session for the Q&A. So you guys are free to ask any of the question you can put in the comment sections. So talking about a bit about myself. So as I mentioned, my name is Piyush and working as a solution architect and a senior cloud consultant at Deloitte. I'm a 5x AWS certified. I recently completed my AWS Solution Architect Professional Certificate, and so I will briefly talk about my journey, about my certification. So I started my certification early in the 2017, and I started with the AWS Solution Architect Associate 1. And at that time, the Cloud Practitioner exam was not in picture. Okay, so I have started with the AWS Solution Architect Associate 1. At that time, I was working as a system engineer where I was troubleshooting the issue related to the cloud. So at that time, I passed this particular exam, and after 1 year or so, I passed the developer exam, SysOp administration exam, and the cloud practitioner exam. And recently, I have passed the solution architect professional exam. So, uh, for from my experience for this five certification, right, what I can say the top tips for this exam is, uh, we should we should at least schedule our exam 1 month of the 1 month prior to we the work towards, like we can work towards our examination before the 1 month. So take that particular gap into the picture, right? Don't do that. Okay, you want to give the exam tomorrow and you are scheduling your exam today. Don't do that, because that will somehow not help you, that will give you more tense about your exam, and you will have the fear of failing in that particular exam. So what my preparation tips is, schedule your exam 1 month before, and put the date on the calendar, right, and look forward to that particular date. Okay. And other than that, the second tips I would say is, I will strongly recommend this particular tips, which is read the white paper. They are really helpful. The AWS white papers are really, really beneficial. Even if you are not, if you don't want to give any certification exam, or if you are not appearing for any of the certification exam, still the white paper will help you in your day-to-day activities. If you are working as a AWS cloud consultant, or solution architect for your organization. So this is a bit about me. Moving next, we will be covering the basics of the certification. So in the basics of the certifications, what I will be talking about is why we need the AWS certifications. Okay. And l- let's remove the AWS word from there. Why we need the certifications, basically. So I I I can say that there are 4 points basically. The certification will provide you the recognitions, it will give you the credibility, it will give you the confidence, and it will help you to increase your performance, right? So we will go one by one. So suppose you are working as a system engineer, okay, in your current organization, or you are working as a DevOps engineer in your current organization, right? And you are working on the AWS cloud regularly in your day-to-day activities, but you are, you know you when it comes to your credibility, when it comes to your recognition, right, you can't describe that in the form of issue you are resolving, in the way of problem statement you are resolving, right? There you need some recognition. Okay, okay, I know this cloud formation template, I know this, how EC2 works, I know how RDS works, right? So so there it comes into the picture. If you are AWS, suppose you are AWS sysops administrator certified, which shows that you know how to troubleshoot the issues, right? So basically the idea is, it will provide you the credibility, it will provide you the recognition within the organization and outside of the organization as well. And definitely it will give you a lot of confidence, right? I can share my experience with you. I started my career with, as a network administrator, then moved to the system engineer, then DevOps engineer, and now working as a solution architect. And it's only 5 years of experience, right? It's not that much, right? So it's only 5 years of experience I'm carrying right now and working as a solution architect. So that is how the certifications can help you to grow in your career and will give you the confidence, right? So this is how you can increase the performance as well, your performance, your own performance, with achieving all these certifications. So we'll talk about why you need to know, okay, what you need to know about the AWS certifications. So for the AWS certifications, there are different type of certifications for all level of experience, and that is not mandatory. So basically it is defined that, okay, the certain exam you can give, that is a recommendation after 1 year or 2 year of experience. But what that is not a barrier for you to appear in the exam. You can appear, you can give all the exam at all the levels, right? There is no prerequisites, right? Any exam, when you are ready, you are feel free to schedule your exam and give your exams. Basically people are little afraid, and the people are little not convinced on the timing part and the proctor part of the exam. But with my personal experience, I can say that right now you can give your exam at the centers as well, and at home as well, right? And it is really very smooth process, I would say. Recently I have experienced that, and it's very seamless, and it's uh, very clean process with the, in terms of giving the exam from the home. So it's just an optional for you guys, like you can opt the testing center as well, and you can opt the home choice as well, right? And The other thing is the training resources here. The training resources are available, but they are not required, right? They are not mandatory. That it is not mandatory that for appearing in certain exam you need to complete some training, right? There is no prerequisites to appear in the exam. Whenever you are ready, you can go and give the exam. Okay. We will talk about the available AWS certifications, right? So basically, there are different classification, and majorly there are four different classification for the AWS certification exams. The first one is the foundational one. Another one is the associate one, which covers the three exams. Another one, and the third one is the professional one, which covers the two exams, and then the specialty exam, which cover the six different exams. So I will be taking an example of the foundational one in today's our conversation, but I will briefly take you through all the different and why you need all that and at what phase you need all this particular exam. So the foundational one, right? When you if you are a beginner, if you have just started with the cloud or if you have just started with the AWS cloud, I strongly recommend you to book your exam for the cloud practitioner one, which not only gives you the insight for the AWS, it will also give you the insights for the cloud computing itself. Okay, so this is a very foundational exam, and I think anyone who has started working on cloud like 2 month, 3 month, or 6 month of experience, they can easily go and book their exam for the cloud practitioner exam. It's a very straightforward exam that I would say in terms of complexity. It's a straightforward exam, but definitely it will add some values if you are a beginner. Moving forward, in the associate category, right, there are three exams. The one is a solution architect associate, another is the SysOp administration, and another is a developer one. So that is again three different stream, right? If you are a developer, okay, if you are a developer, I would strongly recommend you to go through the AWS Certified Developer Associate, which help you to understand the AWS services, okay, in terms of a in terms of a developer, right? How you can use different SDKs, how you can call different APIs, or how can you use the different managed services of AWS as a developer inside your code, right? How you can troubleshoot issues, how you can deploy the code as a developer on the AWS services. And so this is the stream if you are a developer, right? If you are in the operations, what I mean by the operation, if you are the server guy, or if you are troubleshooting stuff, you are networking engineer, or you are a system engineer, or if you are a DevOps engineer, then I strongly recommend you to go through the AWS certified system administration exam. And this is very cool exam, right? This is a scenario based exam, and they will ask you the different scenarios where they will give you the problem statement like, okay, if this particular EC2 instance goes down, what are all the matrices you will look for, how you will troubleshoot this particular issue, what can be the possible reason why it happened. So all these type of questions which usually we get in daily routine, right? So suddenly you started getting 5 node 2 in your website, or you break the database connection. So whatever the possible issues or problems we are getting in our day-to-day life, everything will be you will find there in the SysOp exam. So if you are solving these problem day to day, it will be a straightforward exam for you as well, right? And another one is the solution architect. So this is a completely different stream of architects where you want to develop yourself and your coming upcoming career as a architect. Okay, so that is how it help you. So here also you will find the scenario based question, but the question will be a bit different from the other two exams. So here the problem will be more generic, like problem may be a business use case. Okay, a client wants certain things, how you will architect that particular application, or what are the all services you will use, how you will optimize the cost for the client, how you will make sure the architect which you have designed is uh, is secure. Okay, so that is if you want to be an architect, or if you want to do in some future. So this exam is the best exam for you guys. Moving forward, so as we are moving, right, the difficulty level is also increasing in terms of exam. So let's move to the professional ones where we have two exams: solution architect professional and the DevOps engineer professional. Okay, so for the solution architect professional, again, if you want to pursue the architect stream, it is a very good exam, and I would say I have the recent experience of this particular exam. This is the most difficult exam I feel till now that uh, I faced till now. Okay, so it's a very lengthy exam, I would say, and you need a full concentration and you need a full hands-on experience, before appearing for this particular exam, and this is very expensive as well. So uh, I would suggest that once you are prepared, right, you have full knowledge and you have gone through all the trainings and have the hands-on knowledge, and then try scheduling your profession exam, right? That's why AWS mentioned that we need the 2 years of experience in the designing, operating, and troubleshooting the solutions, right? So that is recommendation, that is recommended eligibility, I would say, but that is not necessary. If you have enough experience, you can go and book your exam. And if you are a developer and if you belongs to the operations, right, so the next level exam in the professional category is the DevOps engineer exam for you guys. And this is again a scenario based question. It's a lengthy exam, I think 180 minutes, like 3 hours exam, and lengthy questions and the lengthy answers as well. And so we need very good knowledge of the every developers and operational category services, even in the designing, operating, and the troubleshooting solution as well. Moving forward, these are the basic ones, right? Moving further, right, once you achieve the professional as well, now now we'll talk about the specialty one. This is a special category. Okay, so suppose you are not in the you are not falling in the actual architect, operational, and developer category. Okay, you are a completely networking guy and you want to show your skill and you want to be recognized, or you want to you know show your credibility towards the networking knowledge, right, you have. So what you can do is, there is one advanced networking exam. You can appear for that, right? Similarly, if you are a security guy, if you are a ML guy, right, if you are working a lot of stuff, you are doing on the machine learning, you are building some skills of Alexa, right? You are doing a lot more with the database. You are a DBA, right now, or you want to do something with the data, you want to play with the data, right? You like the data analytics and other things, right? So these are the special exams for each of the categories, as I mentioned, right? So right now you can see, right, there are approximately 12 exams which AWS provide. So these are the brief description about that. So we will move to the next topic here, preparing for the AWS certification exam. So when it comes to the preparation, right? So the first thing comes to the setting up the goal, right? You need to set up a specific goal. As I mentioned, there are different exams and people are literally confused, like for which exam they should go for. So I personally got lot more queries daily, like, okay, hey, I'm working as a DevOps engineer, what do you suggest, which exam should I you know write, or which certification should I do? So first of all, we have to set a goal, right? That, okay, I have to do this particular uh, certification. Okay, then we have to make a self plan and we have to you know make assessment, right? Okay, this is how much I know, this is what exam is asking for, and that this much is I have to prepare for, right? So that the third category comes to the preparation, and the fourth one is the taking the exam. So I have seen people, right, who, what the people usually do is they opt for in training, they complete the training, and they schedule the exam as well, but they keep postponing their exam because somehow they are not getting the time to appear in the exam, or somehow they are not getting that much of confidence, right, to appear in that particular exam. So stick to your first date, right, to take the exam. until or unless you are not getting anything important right on that particular date, I would say go on the same date which which first date you will book your exam, right? So we'll classify those four steps more in terms of AWS now, and it's a nine-step process, I would say. So the first is review the exam guide. So whenever you go to the AWS.trainings or AWS.certifications, you will see the complete exam guides are present over there for each of the exams. So I would say that I will also give you the one example of how to read the exam guides which is present online, right? So we will take an example for the cloud practitioner in upcoming slides, but the first step is to review the exam guides, then take the AWS training. So for all the exams there are specific trainings which are free on aws.trainings. You can go, you can create your account, and you can have the training for that, right? Hands-on practical experience on the AWS is the must thing. So many people reach out to me asking for the dumps. So there are no dumps available, I would say, for this type of certification. You clearly have to go through the complete trainings. They are not mandatory, but they are helpful to pass the exam. And also the hands-on experience is the must and the key factor, to it will increase the probability of yours to pass the exams. And there are sample questions available, I would say. Yeah, there are sample questions available, and there are a sample practice text also available. You can take the practice test as well. And the fifth point, which is very important, right? FAQs, my favorite one. So read the FAQs, right, for each of the services included in that particular exam. They are very helpful. They are very helpful. You can find sometimes the direct questions also, because FAQs are designed in a way, uh, they are also sometimes scenario based, like, okay, in this situation which service you have to use, which feature you have to use, right? So I strongly recommend that go through the FAQs, okay? And the white paper, as I already mentioned, right, the white papers are the key, you can say the another key factor to pass the exams, and they are very detailed, and they are very finely created, right? You will get a very deep knowledge of that. Reading the white paper is, making the use of your time, right? And it will not only help you in the exam, it will also help you in your day to day activities for whatever field you are in, right? It will help you there. So the sixth part is the take a certification exam readiness course, right? So this is also an optional step, right? If it's not a mandatory step to pass your exam. So if you feel like that after going through all the five steps, you feel like you need more training, you need more time to prepare, so you can go for a readiness exam as well, right? And then after the practice test, you have to schedule your exam and get certified, right? So that is the last step. And as I mentioned earlier, right, please guys, uh, stuck to one particular date, right? Don't try to reschedule it until or unless you don't have anything urgent on that particular day or on that particular time, right? And so as I mentioned, right, the exam guide, review the exam guide. So the review of the exam guide is a very essential, if step the people usually avoid it, right? So as a I'm taking example of cloud practitioner here. So if you go through I'm not going here line by line. I'll just tell you that what actually you need to focus here. So if you can see on the slide, uh, it shows that it validate an examee ability too. So there are five or seven points I can read out that explain the value of the AWS cloud, understand and explain the AWS share responsibility model, AWS cloud security best practices, AWS cost economics and the billing practice, identify AWS service for the common use cases. So after reading all these five and six point, I have a clear picture now in my mind. Okay, if I if I if I want to do this particular certification, or if I want to appear for this particular exam, I should have knowledge as an examee. I should have knowledge of these particular, areas. I should have the ideas of all these topics, right? So AWS exam guide is helping here with respect to, like, if you are appearing in the cloud practitioner exam, you should know before appearing this exam. You should uh, go through all these topics, right? And then they also include the recommended AWS knowledge, and the recommended journal IT knowledge is also helpful and beneficial if you are appearing for this particular exam, right? And then they will explain you here in the exam guide what type of question you will get. So there are different type of questions. So the multiple choice question where the one answer is correct, and the and the again the multiple choice questions where the more than one answer is correct, true and false, or fill in the blank. So there are different type of questions, right? So you will you will get a clear picture. Okay, if I'm going to appear in this particular exam, what type of question I will be expecting there, right? So this is how the exam guide will help you to make a make a imagination in your mind that, okay, if I'm going to appear in this particular exam, I have these type of question to answer, right? And then you will have the exam results, about detail about the exam results. So they will there is no calculation for the marks you will get immediately. You will get it later on your email, but it's a pass or fail exam, right? You will get immediately, you have passed or you have failed that particular exams. And the next one is the content outline. Okay, this is my favorite one. So this is my personal from my personal experience. Whenever I schedule any of the exam, or I plan to any of the exam, I quickly go to the exam guide, and on this particular page where I can see that, okay, which domain is coming in the exam, which domain I am good at, and which domain I have to improve, right, before appearing in the exam. So, for example, if we talk about the cloud practitioner exam here, so there are four domain which AWS says that, okay, the domain one is a cloud concept, which will cover the 26% of the questions, right? So suppose you will getting the 100 questions. So out of 100, this 26 questions will be from the cloud concepts. That is why I told in initial slides that why this cloud practitioner exam is helpful for the beginners, right? If you are beginner to the cloud domain, how it will help, because this exam will going to test your cloud concept 26%, right? 26 questions on the cloud concept. Then we will have the security and the compliances. The security and the compliances question can be generic as well, and they can be AWS specific as well. Then we have the technology. So the technology will cover what, it will define the AWS cloud, how you can deploy, how you can operate the AWS cloud, how the global infrastructure of AWS cloud works, what are the core services of the AWS cloud, right? And what are the different technology supports you will get in the AWS. And the fourth domain, which covers the 16%, that is billing and the pricing. So again, the billing and the pricing model of the AWS, how AWS pricing model works, and how you can uh, avail the billing support of the AWS. Everything will be covered in the domain 4. So this is how the exam guide are useful, guys. This is a must, and I would strongly recommend that if you are planning, or in future if you are planning any of the exam or any of the certification, please go through the exam guide twice or thrice. Understand which domain they are asking, understand what are the different score I have to achieve, understand what are the different topics and different and they have the brief, they have the subtopics as well, right? On the slide you can see in the domain one there are three different things they have listed out. In the domain 2 also there are four sub point they have listed out. So this is how it works, right? Going forward, this is again a question which many of the people ask us about: where do I start? So everyone, everyone have this question in mind. Okay, I'm working on the AWS cloud, or I'm working on the cloud technology, or I'm using this particular services. Okay, I want to do this particular certification, but I don't know how to get started with, right? From where I should start with. So there are a lot more things to start with. You can see on the slide, right? You can start with a different guides. You can start with the different learning paths which AWS provides. You can, take the webinars which AWS provide on the different exam preparations, and you can start with reading the white papers and the different technical documentation and the technical guides uh, the AWS provide online, right? So this is how you can get started, okay? And apart from that, these, reading the guides, going through the white papers, going through the FAQs, the hands-on experience is also required, right? So don't forget about that. Many of the people ask about the trainings, right? If they are paid trainings or AWS provide, or if their trainings are free, or the trainings are specific to any certification exam. So I would strongly recommend you guys to go, just, go go to your search engine and just type for aws.training, and you will find a very good portal for the trainings. You can register yourself for freely over there. And what you can do is, what you can do is, you can find the 500 plus courses over there, and they are classified in terms of roles, domain, specific services, and the level of expertise, right? And they are available on demand. They are, you can, if you are sitting, if you are have a good internet connection, if you are sitting anywhere, you are free to use any of the training material provided by the AWS, right? So I will strongly recommend you guys to just visit this and create your account, and start using all the different courses and available. They are specific to certifications as well, and they are specific to services as well. If you want to learn some new service, and if you want to know more about, one particular service in which you are working. Suppose you are working on EC2 from last 2 years, but you still want to know more about it, right? So there are courses present which, there are courses which will be presented over there. Yeah. Next, and I would say the final topic for this, we will be talking about the pro tips. Okay, guys, and what are the pro tips for preparing for the exams? So, I would say that, commit commit to your preparation, right? You have to prioritize, you have to schedule, you have to prepare each day. So as I mentioned, right, book your exam before month, okay? And then have a schedule, then have a priority that, okay, daily 1 hour I have to go through this, daily 2 hours I have to go this particular schedule, okay? I have the content outline with me, and I have to go through daily one by one, right? So having a schedule, having a priority, having, the preparation is the must for the exam. And and do the practice, right? People, I'll again repeat that people ask me for the dumps, but there are no dumps available for such an exams. You have to do the practice. The hands-on is the must, guys. So you can avail the AWS free tier offer, right, where you have the different services available for different duration, right, available for free. You can go and make use of those services and do your hands dirty, right, with AWS services. And test yourself, right? So again, the pro tips is test yourself. So do you can take the practice exams, right, provided by AWS, that will help you in multiple ways. The first thing is, you will come to know about which type of questions will come and what type of the options will be. Sometime what happens is, you are fully prepared, guys, but what happens is, you will look, if you look to the answer, right, you will find that all the four answer can be a possible answer. How you will eliminate those answers, right? So suppose, one out of four, one option is correct out of four, right? How you will eliminate all three? And if you look if you look to the question and the answer, you will find that all four can be the possible answer. So where there the practice come into the picture. If you have already gone through the practice test, you will get the enough time to think of, okay, you can give in the practice test, you can give a lot of time and you can think of, okay, this how this option can be, eliminated, or this option can be a right answer for this particular question, right? The next pro tip is schedule your exam, and keep yourself, bind to that particular date and the timings, right? And build support, right? That is also one of the benefit, you can take up. Talk to your network, talk to the people who are already certified. You can also ping me anytime if you need any help. But yeah, in your network you should, that will help you guys. So I will share my experience when I was going through this, preparation of this pro certification. I have talked with lot of people on the LinkedIn, right? That okay, what type of question you are getting? Okay, how much time you are? Is it possible to finish, 75 large lengthy questions in 180 minutes? So that all questions will help me to, set up my mind before going to the exam. So I would say talk to people, ask them for some time, and talk to the people who are already certified. That will also help you. Another pro tips is you can take the exam, in this pandemic situation. No need to go to, if I as far as I know, all the centers are off. But if there are centers which are open right now also, I would strongly recommend you to take it from the home, because it is very smooth, it is seamless experience, provided that you have a good internet connections and all the system requirements which need before that particular exams, right? Also, one of the plus point is the English as a second language. So if you guys not having the English as a first language, you will get extra 30 minutes to, you can speak to the speakers, non-English speaker, and before taking that particular exams, right? You can flag your questions, you can revisit your questions during your examination. At the last, you can, and I strongly recommend to use this particular. So suppose if you are not confident about, right, if you are not confident about any of the answers, but and there is a limited time, you cannot spend lot of time on a question, right? So at that particular time, what you can do is you can mark it the flag, and at the last you can revisit it if you will find, some time. And yeah, so these are the few of the pro tips I would say. Schedule your exam, practice test, and commit to your particular schedule. Prepare, take the free trainings, and the next step would be getting the certification, right? So that will be the last step, and that will be, I would say, the next step for all of you guys, that go ahead and book your exam, and start preparation. Reach out to people, reach out to me, reach out to us as a user group, and we are definitely helping you guys to get certified. uh, I'll stop here, I'll pause here for any question. I'll look for the questions in the chat window as well. You can put your questions in the chat window. So, Vivek is asking about how to avail the discount concession for the certification exams. So, yeah, for cloud practitioner, there is a global challenge going on. I will be talking about that in few minutes. That can help you in some way. But in terms of discount or any voucher, I think once you passed any of the exam, you will start getting some of the benefits from, passing that one particular exam. So on your next exam, you will get, some discount, I think, and also some other benefits by passing that particular exam. So in that way, you can have some discounts on your certification exams. Uh, Another question from Vijay is, if we complete a learning path, is the sufficient to clear, say, cloud practitioner exam? Definitely, Vijay. You need not to go to the third party, right? You need not to go to the third party I would say if you are taking proper AWS trainings which are available on AWS trainings, and also you are reading the white papers, you are reading FAQs, you are going through the exam guides, you are doing a bit of hands-on, right? Then I would say you don't require, any external or, any other preparation material. That will be more than sufficient. And further, I will add that it depends upon people to people or how you are preparing, right? If you are not taking white paper, FAQs, hands-on experience seriously, then probably you may need other training material as well, right? Does exams have negative marking for no wrong answers? I think no. There are no negative marking for the wrong answers. What is the average preparation time taken for associate and professional cert? So it depends upon lot of factors. So if you are working on AWS, right, in your day-to-day activities, I would say, as I mentioned, right, I divide the AWS divided the three different associate exams: architect, operation, and the developer. So I'll take example of one. If you are working in operational field, right, where you are working as a system engineer or network engineer or DevOps engineer, and you are dealing with AWS services in your day-to-day routine, right? So probably in terms of time, I would say uh, target it for a month, like 30 days. Go through the exam guide, mark out what all things you already know in the exam guides, okay? And what other thing, right? What other thing I have to prepare for? What other thing I have to learn? And try to manage your time. And for this, right? I would say for associate exams, if you are doing the hands-on experience, if you are reading the white papers, FAQs, doing the training, and if you are committed, right, the 30 days will be more than enough. But if we are talking about the professional exam, then I would say you must have the experience or that particular exposure where you are solving, um, when you are solving the client facing problem or the customer facing problems or the designing solutioning problems, right? So the professional exam is very lengthy exam. You need to understand very deep each and everything. So I would say in the time it will take 3 months. Like for me, it took 3 months, right, to prepare exactly for the certification of the professional solution architect. I have gone through the training which AWS provide. Okay, I have gone through the white papers. I have gone through the different design in the solutions which are freely available on the AWS websites, right? So all that you need for preparing that particular exams. Any tips in reading white papers as it get boring to see black and white text? That's a very good questions. One of my favorite one. Yeah. So actually, you have to read that particular white paper with the intention that okay, what you want to grab from that. Okay, there are a lot of architecture diagrams involved. There are a lot more, heading, subheading. So you don't need not to go the line by line, right? You can't read it because it's like 60, 70, 80 pages for one of the white paper, right? So I would say, suppose you want to read about AWS compute services, right? EC2 or EKS or ECS, right? Or Fargate or anything else, right? So target what you want to read, okay, and then quickly take that particular white paper in a glance. Okay, there are some architecture diagram, there are some flow diagrams available, or there are some heading, subheading, there may be some code pieces, or there may be some screenshots, right? And try to understand the things, try to relate the things, and where you find it interesting, you can mm, go through that particular white paper, right? So the next one is I'm willing to give SAC, okay, with practice exam which costs $20 from it is going to help. So yeah, Anurag, the practice test will help you. It will set your mind like okay, which type of questions you will get, okay, and how should you prepare for. Sometime what happens is we know the technical part, okay, we are all prepared in terms of like I know how cloud formation works, I know how EC2 works, I know every detail of that. But when it comes when it comes to, answer certain question related to that, we we are not prepared, because we don't, as I mentioned earlier, right, we don't know like all four answers you will find as a correct answer sometimes. Okay, you can say, okay, this can happen with option A as well, and option B as well, option C as well. So that is where the practice test will help you. It will it will also help you to check your speed, right? Sometimes we are not up to the speed in our exam, because there are limited time, and there are lot more technical, and there are lot more strategy based questions, right? So that will help you to, to set some timer for yourself, like one question you want to give 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes, something like that, right? So that will definitely help you. The practice exams are always helpful. What can I be sure I'm ready, not getting confidence? Yeah, so that is what I told Saurabh. That sometime the certificate, after achieving the certificate, you feel the confident. But what usually happen with the people is, uh, they they want to appear for the exam. They have good knowledge as well. They are prepared as well, but they are not having the confidence, and that will come once you will sit in the exam, and pass and fail are the results, right? Don't worry guys about that. If you are not getting clear in first time, that's not a problem. Not, everyone face this particular situation, but at least that will give you the scenario of, that will give you the confidence enough, to sit in the exam and prepare for the exam. So to build the confidence, I would say do more hands on, and read through, the white papers and the exam guide clearly, and clearly mark everything, that okay, this thing I know very well, this thing I don't know very well, I have to go through this particular training, or I have to go through this particular thing again, right? Okay. Yes, I have also been contacted by some people which claim that proctors can't detect their softwares and they can clear everyone's exams. Okay. So, Anurag, I'm not aware of this type of scenario, truly saying, but I think for this platform like AWS or any other platform, right? You can take an example of any other service provider as well. I think that is something looks weird to me, and because if it is happening, right, everybody can get certification, and the another thing is, if it exists also, I think we should not go through that, because uh, that is not helping you in any ways, right? You're not, this is not you just to show you that okay, you are AWS certified, you should have that particular skill as well. There are people in the market, right, who don't have the certificate, but they are very deeply, having the knowledge for their areas, right? So I would say that don't go for all these rumors. uh, just prepare and sit for the exam. Okay. How about the duration time for the security specialist in AWS? I'm currently doing some red blue team related testing and monitoring activities. Okay, so as I mentioned, right, the security ones come under the specialty exam, and yes, it is. I think it will cover all the AWS related security, and the journalized way of securing your application as well. It's not about only the managed services or the services which AWS provide, but also in general how you can secure your applications, right? So it will talk about that. So if you are working as as a member of red blue team, or testing or monitoring, yes, you can prepare for it. You can go through, as I mentioned, right, just open the security exam specialist exam guide, check the content, and if you find that okay, it is relatable what you are doing right now, I would say that uh, uh, go and register and prepare for the exam. Another one is, what is your recommendation for doing the AWS exam? So my personal recommendation is, uh, as I go, in my career, right? I think these exams will not only help you, to get recognition or the credibility, but also it will develop a lot more confidence in you, right? And you will find yourself to be ready for the next steps in your career, right? So my recommendation is that how what I feel is whenever I have to do the exam. So as I mentioned that I am 5x AWS certified. So now after getting the fifth certification, which is a pro one, right? I immediately decided that okay, next what I have to do, because five I have already achieved, right? So what next I have to do is, so I'm planning to do a specialty exam. So then I find okay, where is my interest or where I'm good at? I'm good at security, I'm good at networking, I'm good at database. So I found that okay, I'm a good at security. I'm working a lot more in the infrastructure part or in the migration part, right? So security is my domain. So I have started 3 months date to that, okay, on the same day. And I have started looking for the trainings. And I created one folder in my laptop where I have security related white papers. And I created one of my document where I have the all the links for the security related services, FAQs and everything, right? So this is how I do the preparation, but it can differ people to people. So I would say that again, in the journalized way, if you want to do any of the certification, follow the schedule for prepare for the certification. And read out everything and do some hands on as well, right? Depending upon the level of exam you are sitting in. What are the difference between the old and the new pattern of the exams? uh, Okay, associate architect one. Okay, so this is a pattern which AWS or any other cloud service provider follows usually, right? So every time, suppose if you talk about like I written the exam in 2017 for the solution architect, right? And it's totally different right now in 2020 because the services had changed, right? The new services came up, the new features came up, right? So w- there is no such difference. The only difference is they will introduce the new services, right? They will introduce the new services, new features. They want to test the latest pattern, right? Because if a person have certified in 2016, right? And that time suppose one feature or two feature or five features was not available, but in 2020 for that particular service those features are available, right? So it makes sense to change the exam pattern. So when I say exam pattern, the pattern is same, right? The services are same, the courses are same, but the only thing is started including the additional stuff which AWS is developing day by day, right? So that is usually they do. I think they usually do a year or 2 year or so. I don't know exactly, but yeah, they make some few minor changes, which is not related to the number of questions or the timing usually, which is more on including more stuff over there which they have recently built it. Okay. Does the certification help in the job search? If I am experienced and not from the cloud background, will certification help in getting a new job? Yeah, I would say it's definitely a add-on, right? If suppose two profiles comes to me, right, as a recruiter, where I'm looking for a AWS solution architect, right? So one profile say about the experience, and the another profile says about experience plus certification, right? So absolutely right. It will help me to filter it out, right? That okay, both guys are having the solution architect experience, but the another person B is having the certification as well, which shows his credibility towards his experience, right? Which shows his confidence as well, right? Right? He really do something in his career, like in terms of experience, in terms of solving the problems, resolving, making some designs, but he also proved that as well by appearing in that particular exams. So yes, it will help you, and what I have seen the latest pattern is, yeah, the companies are asking for this, right? There are more demands if you are certified and in whatever the domain you are working in, right? Does AWS security exams need knowledge about penetration, pen testing, or cyber security stuff? Absolutely yes, right. Not directly, but indirectly, they can ask you about different type of attacks, right? DDoS attack or any other type of SQL injection or any other type of attacks, right? So that's where the security comes into the picture, and the questions in the security exams are also, based out of like different security breaches, right? Okay, if a client is having such type of application and some type of breach happened to their application, so how you will, how you will stop that, or how you will stop some type of attack. So I would say that if not directly it is coming, but somehow you will get, the questions around. They will check your knowledge about your cyber security and the other stuff as well. If I got certified, how to get a job in the cloud? So it's not like that. If you're certified and you'll directly get a job, it just add on to your profile, right? And it will stand out you from others, right? You can stand out yourself. And as I mentioned the example, right, when there are two different profiles, and how their CV works, right? So it will help you to, filter it out. And definitely it will, not only that, right? You will be more confident. So it's not like that, getting certified is getting job. It's like getting certified, getting confidence, and be ready for the next steps, right? That is how it works. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Okay, if not, we have 4 minutes left, and I will be talking about the global certified challenge which is going on with this particular reinvent. So I think you guys are aware of the reinvent, which is an annual biggest event, I would say, in the cloud, which AWS hosts usually in Vegas, but this time it's this is all virtual, right? So this will be happening for 3 weeks this year, and during this reinvent, right? This the reinvent, right? They are having a AWS certified global challenge where they are, you can go enrolled here. There is a link is given, and you can go there, you can register yourself. You will get a free practice test, I would say, for the cloud practitioner exam, and you will get the free trainings. You will get the guidance from the AWS people directly. You will have the call, you will get a lot of information over there. So I would strongly recommend you to visit that particular link, and register for this global challenge if you have not started. And last but not the least, guys, go register for exams, and you can contact me anytime. You can contact directly to our AWS User Group Bangalore directly. We will be available anytime. We will be, solving your problems and any type of queries. So go ahead, register for the exam and get certified, and let me know if you need any type of help. This presentation we will be sharing the link on the meetup page, our Bangalore meetup page, and look for that particular link. And also these recordings are available after this particular session, so you can go through again, and go and build on AWS, register for exam, and get certified, guys. Thanks a lot for joining us. You are a wonderful audience today, and thanks for all the questions. Thank you.